He was just kidding, they said. She didn't mean it, they said. They'll stop, they're just being boys, they said. You're overreacting, they said. Get over it, they said. Just ignore them, they said. They said so much to me. They filled my head with it all ending tomorrow. Every time he'd open his mouth, instead of sweet words like those of my dad's that used to sing and rang beautiful, smart, amazingly talented, they opposed and screamed ugly and weird and dumb. And he'd never comprehend the stab that I felt in my heart that made it ache because I'd rewind those words in my head, wondering if they were the truth, since my father had taught me that everyone speaks the truth, and I felt so confused about how my dad could say one thing and these kids would say the opposite. And every day after school, I'd come home and my eyes would fill with water every time my parents would ask me how my day had gone. They tried to comfort my soul by telling me that what they said to me wasn't true and called me beautiful. Beautiful. That's all I ever wanted to be, because if in his eyes or her eyes or theirs I wasn't, I was completely aware of it, and every time I'd see my reflection I'd be so lost of who to believe, if I should listen to the demon in my head that screamed ugly or the minuscule angel that whispered ugly. Is just an acronym that stands for you gotta love yourself, and every time they knock me down with their words and I'd feel 2 feet shorter, I tell myself in my head that maybe they were right. That maybe I truly was fat, that maybe I truly was ugly. And I started to listen to the demon in my head, the demon of insecurity that had made its nest in the deepest part of my heart. When I'd get up to go to school, I'd want to lay back down and engulf myself in the safety of my bed sheets. I'd hesitate as my hand would reach out for the doorknob, and I'd head outdoors to begin the everyday journey of walking to school that dragged time along. I sometimes have to stay after school to run with our team, determined to run the fastest, but I got undermined, and when I did so, I ran to get rid of the wideness of my sides, unaware that it would turn into the lengthening of my legs. I was made aware of how slow I ran, making me doubt my sense of potential, my heart heavily weighted down by the hostility, my head cowered down, with eyes locked with the carpet I came to know so well, since I'd become aware of the shoes that were around me in order to differentiate those of my friends and those of them. Them that had something to say every day, them that had fear anchored in me, them that would call me a snitch, and if I was a snitch for standing up for myself, then I'd be the biggest bitch of a snitch, since I had to begin to believe in that little angel that would always praise me, this everlasting few that would remain in the presence of my mind that would be trained to hesitate when admiration would surface, my mind that would be had to become accustomed to the acceptance of the kindness of strangers in the street, my mind that had become filled with the grace of elegancy, my mind that had become filled with the serenity of the gratefulness for the kind-hearted, my mind that had become complete with the acknowledgement that came flooding over me, immersing me in certainty.